Hey everybody, it's Angela here, and I hope you had a great weekend. I wanted to come at you with a new video. I am going to be, I believe, focusing the rest of my time on anything going on with the election 2024. And I'm not talking about, just the election on candidates. What I want to look for is the candidates, the voting equipment, the people who make the voting equipment, anything that can be hacked or robbed or, with the voting machines, because it has been found that many votes and everything can be changed and audited through a lot of the electronic equipment that are using for your e-ballots. What you want to do is make sure, if you want to totally avoid that, vote on paper. Get a paper ballot, forget all of that technology stuff. It may be easier, some people like doing that, but I always ask for a paper ballot, or I've started since I was researching the 2020 election. I'm going to take you through this here, right here, DEFCON Hacking Village 2017 report on voting machine hacks. They hacked multiple machines, and they put out a full report. And believe it or not, I was able to find this right here on the I think it's the Dominion voting, the Dominion voter machine website. They had it disclosed, but then they removed that, and I found it on an archived page of the site. So, it's always good to have that. It just lets them know that Dominion is, they want full disclosure, number one, and number two, they want to show that, yeah, we're very well apprised of this, and you could trust our equipment because we're going to be transparent about any way that we may have been, what is that word? Hacked. As you can see right here, I have Michigan contract with Dominion Voting Systems. It is the actual contract. This one is not signed. I believe that I have an archive copy of the one that's signed, but I put these on drives and external hard drives and all that, and I'm having a lot of trouble locating that since I moved to Florida. Here's more Michigan, but I'm going to get to... Oh, here's the support, 2020 support. A lot of documentation that they put together. That's what they were titled. I put what they're titled as. I did not change or manipulate any of that, okay? Just so you know. And how to manually adjudicate documents from this. Okay, some notes. Now I'm going to go right here. I already opened up that document right here. And I want you to be alert. I would request the title of my video is going to be Demand a Paper Ballot. Now, here's a really funny thing that I've already heard that's been going on in the primaries, especially in Republican-run eras. They were short. They were not provided with enough paper ballots. So some people were literally forced. They were forced to submit their vote by the machine. And yeah, they had to. And other people, here in Florida, people were turned away because, they were coming out to vote in the primary. And the thing is, if you are in line prior to 7 o'clock on election night, you can vote. Yes, you can. As long as you're in line. After 7 o'clock, you can be turned away and sent home. But otherwise, you should be able to vote. And if it takes till 9:30 for them to get all the way through to you that you're the last person in line, then they'll have to wait. No one can be turned away for any other reason. So if you get up to the table where they check you in and they tell you, nope, we're closed, nope, that's not the truth. You have to be standing in line by 7 p.m. Then they have to wait till that, up until they get to the end of the people in line. They cannot just shut down the polling place. How do I know? I worked several years as an election judge. And these are just things that I learned. However, though, I found this really interesting report there. This one, it's just someone, the person who basically wanted the study to be done, he said, I spent my entire adult life in the national security arena, Europe during the Cold War, Balkans in the 1990s, Middle East since 9/11, in the Pentagon, White House, recently at NATO headquarters in Brussels. I've studied national security at West Point and at Harvard. So why am I now introducing a report on cyber hacking of our voting systems? Now, this is from the election of 2016. The 2016 election was the election that President Donald J. Trump won. He won that. And they have been going through the whole of President Trump's tenure saying that the Russians interfered. Oh, the Russians interfered and all that. I'm not going to say anything because I don't know the actual truth. I have not read any final reports. I have life and had to get back to that. But I'm starting to see things happening in 2024 that were starting in 2020, and that got my little antennae up, and I said I better reach out and start studying this and following this subject. So it's taken me 7 minutes to get all the way over here and tell you, why is it serious? You can read that. They for over 40 years I voted by mailing absentee ballot from wherever it was stationed. I assumed voting security was someone else's job. I didn't worry about it. After reading this report, I don't feel that way anymore. Now I'm convinced that I must get involved. This is Douglas E. Lute, former U.S. Ambassador to NATO, Lieutenant General, U.S. Army, retired. That was in 2017. Now these are hacker conferences, okay? In this year's DEFCON, it was held from in 2017, Las Vegas drew a record-breaking 25,000 participants. For the first time, DEFCON featured a voting machine hacking village. They called it Voting Village. They want to highlight cyber vulnerabilities in the U.S. election infrastructure, including the voting machines, voter registration databases, and election office networks. The voting machines available in the Voting Village were paperless electronic voter machines, and at a time when a number of U.S. voting jurisdictions are either committed to or are considering purchasing newer equipment based on its auditable paper records, one examination of these types of systems could not be timelier. The event was organized by several cyber voting equipment and national security experts, along with DEFCON founder Jeff Moss. And like I said, 2016, they said that the Russians made President Trump president. It's really strange because President Trump was really hard on Russia. They were sanctioned like crazy. Now, you can definitely, they acquired and made available to over 25 pieces. Now, pardon me. I'm so parched. I'm still not used to talking on camera. But you can look through all that. This is right here. that really got me. The results were sobering. By the end of the conference, every piece of equipment in the voter village was effectively breached in some manner. Participants with little prior knowledge and only limited tools and resources were quite capable of undermining the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of these systems, including the first voting machine to fall. An AVS WinVote model was hacked and taken control of remotely in a matter of minutes using a vulnerability from 2003. Meaning that for the entire time this machine was used from 2003 to 2014, it could be completely controlled remotely, allowing changing votes, observing who voters voted for, and shutting down the system or otherwise incapacitating it. Wow. The same machine was found to have an unchangeable universal default password. Oh my gosh. Unchangeable. Found with a simple Google search of admin or ABCDE. Can you frickin' believe that? I don't know. You can't make this stuff up. Everything's over, right down there. An electronic poll book, the Diebold Express Poll 5000, used to check in voters at the polls, was found to have been improperly decommissioned with live voter data still on the system. So if anyone decides that, okay, I want to buy this, I grabbed it, look for any files on there, I'm going to find out a whole bunch of voters' information. That is not good. This data should have been securely removed from the device before reselling or recycling it. The unencrypted file contained the personal information, including home residential addresses, which are very sensitive pieces of information for certain segments of society, including judges, law enforcement officers, and domestic violence victims. Oh my God, for 654,517 voters from Shelby County, Tennessee, circa 2008. Wow. Oh, moreover, look at this. And this is one thing, it's crazy. A closer physical examination of the machines found, as expected, because you want to get the same technology and pay less for it, multiple cases of foreign manufactured internal parts, including hardware developed in China, highlighting the serious possibility of supply chain vulnerabilities. So yeah, China's like, okay, we'll make these. What are they going into? Voting machine. Let's throw some of these little chips in there, and I can just walk right up to there and, just grab all that information. I mean, come on, everybody's social security was stolen this year. Their social security numbers. So yeah, okay. The bottom line is, no matter the level of nation state hacking or interference in 2016, if our enemy's goal is to shake public confidence about security of the vote, they may already be winning. Yep. So you can definitely read through all of that. I wanted to see if they had any ages of the kids. I think an 11-year-old got into someone's thing. Oh, equipment. And a lot of these, I know a lot of these because I remember that where they worked, they had that. Sequoia, Diebold, I know those. Wow. Wow. And it explains a lot more. Of course, I can't go through this whole thing. I remember voting on one of these before. And there is so when you do, I'm gonna show you the contract with Michigan just to show you how they have to record on their contract every single piece of equipment that you use. Yeah, you can look at Sequoia. I know Sequoia. I don't know. Well, I learned about all of them from when they're like, look, try to find what you can. Voter data leakage. Properly decommissioned and still contain voter records. Wow. Yeah, that's the one that they talked about. Wow, driver's license. Wow. Ooh. Well, I see that. This is a very, very detailed. Here's what they're doing. Yep, they're still grabbing a whole lot of these things. It's, I don't know what else to say, but I'm going to let you know that this report is here. And seeing that this can happen, this is the one thing that said, oh my gosh, I better start looking up the stuff about 2020. I wanted to just refresh your memory on that, and I wanted to advise you, pay attention to how they're going to be doing the elections in your area, okay? A lot of people are starting to blow the whistle on the fact that they were already sent home. They couldn't vote in the primaries, or they closed down, they shut down the polling place, or, other things. It's like you got a lot of rogue workers out there. And don't forget to report any of that. And I just made this here cute little flyer. Where'd I put it? This is what I want to tell everyone to do. Demand a paper ballot on election day and for early voting. Don't trust the tech. Vote early. Vote in person. And if you go on election day, so many things can go wrong. So try to go, since they're doing early voting, go ahead and vote early if you can, and vote by paper ballot. Unless it's like here, Florida, it was so cool because I voted on a machine, but then it printed out a paper showing my choices. And of course, I was able to read them and say, hey, the right choice is there. And then I fed it into the machine. But otherwise, yeah, I'm going to look for that contract with Florida because I really like that tech. I mean, yeah, you can go on the machine, but, they risk on election day losing or not supplying enough Republican or whatever paper ballots, not Republican. But anyways, I'm going to leave you here right now and try to simmer in that. You can get the report from my locals page. I'm going to put the link in the description. And if I do appreciate tips because it has taken me a long time to find this stuff, and I appreciate your support. Thank you. Bye bye.